All of us are storytellers. When you tell your friend that, hey, you know what happened last night, or you know what my mother said to me, all these are stories. So when you start putting these things down in journals, you're telling your own stories. The best things in life are outside, and they're outside your mobile phones. Hi kids, my name is Sejal, and I'm a children's book writer, and I also write for adults, but personally I love writing for kids. And there's a reason to that. I have two nieces. One of them is as young as you, she's around 7, and the other one is older, she's now going to be 13 this year. And I've always told stories to them. I have brainwashed them into listening to all my stories, and because they love me, they listen to everything I have to say. Let me show you a photo. These are my nieces, and they're really naughty, as you can see. She's a brat. She's as old as you guys. And these children are actually the reason that I started writing for children, because I wanted to write to my nieces and teach them about wildlife, teach them about my experiences, how much fun I've had in forests. And I write about wildlife. I write about animals, I write about protecting animals, I write about what animals eat, what they like to do. And I've always been telling, I come back from my travel and I have a story for my nieces. And over the years, I started to collect more and more information and write small notes to them. Like for example, I did this journal for my nieces. I paint. This is my older niece. And so I have little notes for them in this journal where, small little things. I know it's a mirror image, so you can't really tell. But small little late night chats with wise animals about what owls do. Then this one's a favorite. The best things in life are outside, and they're outside your mobile phones. And small little how animals and tigers and animals and children are better together. And so it helps them, or sometimes how we're just too cute for Mondays. So I write little notes for them, and over the years, I think they've just started to inspire me to write more. We also make little games based on wildlife, based on my travel. So I went to Africa. How does writing, how travel helps my writing? I travel a lot. I go to different forests, and I went to Africa, and then I came back, and then I found out how there is an entire, I don't know if you know what wildebeests are, but in Africa, there is an animal that migrates across a river and in search for food once every year. Like thousands and thousands of wildebeest cross the river to go to the other side to eat. Now here's the thing. While they're crossing, there are crocodiles in that water which want to eat them. So we invented a little game called the wildebeest and the crocodile, and one niece is a wildebeest and the other niece is a crocodile, and we have fun games like that. And I explain to them about forests and tigers and conservation through these little chats and games. You should always write. I think everyone should write, and you're really young, and I think all of us should be able to write for a couple of reasons. I think writing helps you clear your mind. I think it helps you think better. It helps you to understand what you feel, because it's an expression. When you eat too much, you keep eating, at some point you have to let it out, right? Some way or the other, it's got to come out of your body. It's just like that with writing. Everybody's telling us, your teacher's telling you things, your parents are telling you things, your siblings are telling you things, I'm telling you things. All of that needs to, all of that is in your head. And when you write, all of it comes out, and you start thinking about what you feel about what you've heard, and it clears your head. And all of us are storytellers. When you tell your friend that, hey, you know what happened last night, or you know what my mother said to me, all these are stories. So when you start putting these things down in journals, you're telling your own stories. And that's what's important, right? You should always tell stories because they help people and they entertain people. And I tell stories because I want to talk about the beautiful world we have and the animals that live in it, and how we can all live together and not hurt each other. For example, one time when I was traveling, I stayed alone in a forest in the middle of the night on top of a tree. And I was scared, but I was also very excited. And as the night became darker and darker, and nights are really dark in a forest, and as things got darker and darker and darker, guess who came to meet me? 2 leopards. They came down around the tree, they growled, they were like, who is this creature and why is she in the forest, why is she in our house? And after a while they just left, because the truth is they're not interested in us, they're interested in other animals. And it was beautiful, and I couldn't wait to come back and write about these things. And that's what has inspired Wildcats, because I wanted to explain, and in a fun way, as to how many different types of wildcats there are in India. We just know of the tiger and we talk about the leopard, but there are so many other creatures that we don't know about, and that was the idea behind that. And of course, I love what happens to the forest when the tiger moves across it, right? Everything becomes quiet, and then suddenly everything starts to warn each other. And there's something very exciting about that. And so this is why, I've written about wildcats, this is why I've written about the tiger. And I think all of these books, I've written about marine life as well, about wildlife that lives on our shores. There are starfish and jellyfish and octopuses, all of that in our cities. And we should go and say hello to all those creatures. So I've written about that as well. And all the inspiration that comes is usually from what I see around me, and stories about nature and wildlife that I want to tell. And I hope that you can do the same. Start looking around you, start registering what's going on, start listening to people, but think on your own. And how you do that is you write down everything you read, write down everything you hear, read a lot, because that really helps. You see that list behind me? Whenever I have a thought that seems interesting, I put it down on that. So make notes of the interesting things you see, tell stories, and have fun writing them, because if you have fun writing them, people will have fun reading them. So, and that's what it's all about. Make people smile with your words. Okay, bye. Love you all.